Why people who grew up around chaos are addicted to calm. You keep your space clean, conversations low, plans simple. And when anything starts to feel like too much, something in you moves toward the exit before your brain even decides to. Not dramatically, quietly, the way you've always done everything. People call you boring sometimes, low maintenance, hard to read, like your need for peace is a personality flaw instead of something you built with your own hands just to survive. Here's what they don't know. You're not addicted to calm because nothing excites you. You're addicted to calm because your nervous system spent years in a war zone and calm isn't a preference. It's the first safe place you ever found. The world looks at people who crave stillness and calls them avoidant, closed off, emotionally unavailable. The assumption is that normal people run toward excitement, toward noise, toward stimulation, and if you don't, something must be missing in you. But neuroscientists discovered something that reframes this entirely. They call it nervous system recalibration. What happens when a brain that spent its formative years in a high-alert environment finally encounters safety and treats that safety not as ordinary but as something to be protected at almost any cost? Your nervous system doesn't experience calm the way someone who grew up in a calm house does. For them, calm is the background, unremarkable, the default. For you, calm is something you found after a long time without. You grew up in a house where the temperature changed without warning. Maybe it was loud arguments that came from nowhere, silences that felt louder than the arguments. Maybe it wasn't loud at all. Maybe it was the kind of chaos that looked fine from the outside, but inside you were always reading the room, always scanning, always doing the invisible calculation. What is the mood right now? What do I need to be? How do I keep this from escalating? You got very good at that calculation. Fast. Accurate, you could tell from the sound of a door closing whether the next hour would be okay. That meant staying alert, always, not in a way anyone could see, just a background hum. A readiness, an engine running quietly beneath everything you did. And then one day you were older and you were out of that house and the chaos wasn't there anymore. But the engine didn't turn off, because nervous systems don't get the memo when the war ends. They keep running the program that kept you alive, because the last time they stopped, something happened, and they remember. So you built calm like a fortress, controlled your environment, kept your circle small, chose predictability over excitement not because you were afraid of life but because your body had spent years paying a tax that no child should have to pay, and calm was the first moment the bill stopped coming. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about understanding that your nervous system made a very smart decision with the information it had at the time, and smart decisions don't always look comfortable from the outside. But here's what it costs, and it needs to be said out loud. Your body responds before your mind has time to evaluate. Heart rate, withdrawal, the familiar pull toward the exit. And sometimes, if you're honest, you've ended things that didn't need to end. Closed doors that weren't dangerous. Mistaken someone's passion for aggression, someone's need for closeness for pressure, someone's mess for chaos, because your threat detector is sensitive, calibrated for a house that no longer exists. There are connections you didn't let happen, experiences you didn't let yourself have, not because you didn't want them, but because wanting them felt like standing too close to something that could burn you. That's the part no one sees when they call you peaceful, self-sufficient, easy to be around. The calm is real, but sometimes it comes with walls so well maintained that even you forget there's something on the other side of them. Here is what nervous system recalibration actually produces in the world. You do not add to the noise. In rooms full of people performing urgency, manufacturing drama, escalating because escalation is the only register they know, you are the one who stays level, who thinks before responding, who other people unconsciously orient toward when things start to spiral, because something in them recognizes that you will not make it worse. You know how to be still with someone who is falling apart. You don't flinch at hard emotion because you've been in rooms where emotion ran the entire show, and you learned early that feelings are survivable, that they pass, that the right response is often just to stay. And because you know what chaos actually feels like, not as a concept, but in your body, in your childhood bedroom, in the minutes before someone came home, you do not romanticize it. You are one of the few people alive who genuinely understands the difference between a life with peace in it and a life that is simply quiet. You chose peace. Deliberately, at a cost most people will never understand because they never had to pay it. That is not a small thing. That is someone who built something real out of something hard. And the calm you carry now belongs entirely to you. No one gave it to you. You made it. You didn't become addicted to calm because life bored you. You became addicted to calm because you spent years without it, and when you finally found it, you were wise enough to never let it go. The next video is about what happens inside the mind of someone who feels everything and says nothing, and why the silence is not emptiness. It's already waiting.